Good afternoon, everyone watching on twitch.tv/USMK Racing. Welcome to Catalyst 2026. I'm Melpool, joined here by Ginja. This is our third year of Catalyst, our second year in the awesome venue that is local host in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we are going to do some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe today and Mario Kart World 2v2 a little bit later. We already had a pretty exciting first round on the side stream that Bubbles ended up winning a three-way tiebreaker. So main stream's a little bit behind. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are just about to get ready. And here is our lineup. So as you can see, our number one seed and our number one overall seed is going to be Cynda, Zay, Immortal, Angle, Neko, Dynamo, Blackmario, Capybara, buplol, Shadow, Bronze Bus 365. So we obviously have some pretty big names here. I guess, what do we expect?
We're going to expect a lot, because this game, to some, is in the backseat, because everyone's playing Mario Kart World now, so I'm interested to see who really steps up. Cynda, the number one seed, I expect them to do well. Zay, another contender, very locked in and focused today. Immortal as well. Angle, very solid. Dynamo, another solid player. And Neko as well. Blackmario, a very solid player in their own right. Capybara, pretty good as well. buplol, very good. It's just the prospect of this pool is going to be extremely interesting as we're getting into it right away on Vancouver.
Great track to start off. Once again, Cynda, our number one overall seed, did win Mario Kart 8 at Southbound, and not only won it pretty decisively. So I expect Cynda, I expect her to do very, very well here. But then again, we are in the first round. It's only 6 races, so there can be some surprises.
Indeed, and we see already Zay out to a lead with a mushroom in this first corner, holding that strong, having a mushroom this early, setting himself up well for the shortcut is going to be extremely important. Yeah. Having a red as well in the back pocket, going to be important entering this next section.
Yeah, Zay should be able to take the lead from Immortal once this cut happens. Immortal coming to us all the way from Las Vegas, obviously very well known to those who watch Saturday Night Speedway over in Vegas.
Indeed, and we see Angle cutting up with a mushroom, very solid. Blackmario up there as well in second.
Yeah, that super horn. That super horn clipped Immortal, so Immortal's going to drop way back. Oh, that's Cynda and the pink Yoshi coming back with triple greens. Unfortunately, Angle is going to get redded out here.
And that's not as bad as you would think, being in the middle of the pack. The pack is so close right now. In that front couple of spots, the top really 7 right now, so close together. We see Neko shrooming up there, and we see another couple of players having to try to get defense up into the arena.
Yeah, Vancouver, very long track. You can make comebacks on this track, especially with the long tunnel section where you can cut a lot of time, especially if you have Super Mushroom. We're on buplol, unfortunately gets backed by Immortal with this narrow section with the stairs. That is a very good place to back some greens or back some reds.
Exactly. Oh, and getting hit again, not what you want in this situation. But again, being in 9th place, especially in this position, you can pull a power item to take both shortcuts.
This double's critical here, and that's a good pull. He's going to get a star. Should be able to star through this big cut here. Definitely banking on a lightning to come out, but we see a few dodge on the board, not too many. Capybara rocking the Paxton Flower. That's just an obnoxious character to play, just like how big they are. But okay, in a star, in P9. These 3 mushrooms are going to help with this final little cut here, but there's not too much ground you can gain here. Capybara is going to be able to pass. Oh, unfortunately gets horned out by Angle and is going to drop back to P9. I think that's Cynda in P1. That is indeed Cynda in P1. Neko, Blackmario, good start for them. Blackmario more known as a Smash player, but getting 3rd in race 1. Blackmario is one of our lower seeds, 7th seed, so could potentially be a surprise.
I don't think so necessarily, because of the fact that they are a bottom seed, but they're also number 7, so I expected them to be in contention. But getting 3rd, starting off that strong early on in this one, you definitely need that. It's only 6 races. You don't really have enough time to make your comebacks as if it was 12 races. So you really have to decide what tracks you want to go on and what tracks you're good on, because selections matter. And you got to realize, if a track selection if a track is selected that you're not going to like. You have to realize that. And we go to Music Park, and this should be interesting. This is good for Cynda. It is a running track, and they're probably going to run once again.
Yeah, I expect Cynda to pick running tracks pretty much throughout. This is the type of, in these beginning rounds as a top player, your driving skills are going to take you a very, very long way. And Cynda is the GOAT at this game, is the only player, I believe, to have made the last 3 consecutive Melpool FFA finals. And considering that tournament has at least 140 players entered each time, to make the top 12, even as a top player, is an accomplishment even in and of itself.
Indeed, and we see Zay getting a trail on there, going for the glider section, holding on to this red, being very careful and very cautious, but ends up using it anyway. Does not matter. But now double defense in third. I think this is going to help them out, especially coming up later. Yeah. But right now, these top 3 players are starting to break away. Even Neko and Cynda both breaking away, and we see Angle in fifth with a plan.
Yeah, Zay, a very good runner, representing Morgan State University, and it's just such a fast competitor, and definitely expect Zay to be up with that top 3.
Indeed, and we see Dynamo now having that green. We see Angle as well with the green, getting a trail off there, but Dynamo holding on, having a star in fourth. It's just such a big pull in this situation. Letting Angle go, I actually like that play because you can chain and get better items at this upcoming set. Probably get rid of this green.
Blue is on the map, so that is going to aim towards one of those 2 top... Neko does have a horn, so they do have a dodge, and you see they horn. Oh, what a snipe by Cynda!
Unbelievable play there, knowing where Neko was going to drift around that corner, and of course saving the video for momentum. And this is just the type of run Cynda needed. Going for the double box does not need to be too fancy at this point. Having a green as well, going to hold on into this last stretch.
If you're Cynda, you can just continue the same driving you're doing. You can cruise to P1 here. Got a little bit of a gap over, unfortunately does get booed there, but does have a defense for this upcoming red. Gonna take this cut here, and that's gonna be a P1 for Cynda. Well, yes, okay.
I feel like they wanted to show up there just a little bit because of the fact that they got that point.
We do have a late shock, so a couple of players coming through. Buplol finishing P7. Shadow, I think, was gonna be 9th there. We see Bronze, unfortunately, down in P11. So results after 2, we see a 4-way tie for 4th.
Big moves coming up in this pack. It's going to see, and I'm going to have to actually see what actually happens with 4 through 8. We see that tie for 4th, obviously, but 8th place sneaking in there. Who knows who's going to make it? Because at the end of the day, we don't know, because not all of those players tied for 4th right now are going to make it.
Yeah,
just so you know.
This is where, the nerves can start to set in already. You don't want to get knocked out round 1, but somebody unfortunately is. So we'll see as we go into our 3rd race. We'll see what the track picks are, and we'll see what these midfield players can do to make sure that they can get into the top seat. Oh, Super Bowl Subway for race number 3.
I like this pick specifically because of the players in the back, like Dynamo, like Buplol. I like that a lot, and I would like to see them potentially go for those items that can help them move up in the future. I would like to see that.
Yeah, you're probably going to see some bagging here, or no, you're not going to see any bagging. Everyone's going to run. So, but once again, Cynda, Zay, Angle, all towards that top. So Cynda, I know Cynda is good at every track, but this is definitely one of Cynda's better tracks. I've obviously had a lot of experience against Cynda, being the TO of Capital Clash in the DC metro suburbs. Cynda has dominated that tournament series, winning 5 of 6. Won all the Mario Kart 8 and then lost the Mario Kart World 1 to Cynical, who you will see later in this bracket.
And what I'm interested to see is if Cynda can keep this lead. I would like to see them, as we see in the back now, Bronze Bus having triple mushrooms and a star. Good pull from them, and they can really hang back there a little bit and try to go for those good items. And they do miss the box, but again, they can move up quick because of the fact that this track has a lot of shortcuts and you can make your way up.
I think a shock is pretty likely, so if you can time the star to be able to dodge a shock, that could be huge. Oh, that's a big pull, getting the bullet. Made it, and in my opinion, activated that a little bit early.
But I also feel like they're going to pull triple mushrooms, and they don't really, again, this is such a short track that you can opt to use that and put yourself in a better position in the front pack, potentially pull another dodge. But we see 4 mushrooms now on the board. They're going to probably opt to play it a little bit safe.
I thought they were going to chain there, but unfortunately not going to. P7, you got to watch out for that train, and unfortunately does hit the train. Lap 3 on Super Bell can be very tricky. Unfortunately gets booed. Should be able to get the double. Unfortunately, driving error and gets the single, but does pull a star. That should help.
And the shock might be in play after that bill in the back, so that's going to be of note. But
Missed
unfortunately, missing the item box there, probably not going to help, and drive into a wall as well.
Yeah.
They are going to fall to P9, but still, pretty solid effort there.
Yeah. So White Yoshi did get the win on that. Sorry, Immortal got the win on that. Bup, Cynda, Angle, Dynamo, Zay. So let's see. We have a tie for 6th. Bup and Dynamo. Angle in 5th, but only with 1 point ahead.
And that's important to note. Again, the positions are going to be flipped each and every race. You have to realize that. Nobody is safe.
Yeah.
Even Cynda, for getting 3rd there, they're in a great position, then they're probably going to move on, but technically nobody's safe right now.
Yeah.
So if someone messes up, things could really change.
Yeah, you know, the randomness of Mario Kart, you could get a Baby Park pick, you could get a Cheeseland pick, and you think you're safe, and suddenly you get a P11, and things could turn in an absolute hurry. So, that being said, we're gonna see what the next track pick is here, as I believe this is race 4 we're coming on to.
Coming on to 4, and this
We're
is
halfway
your
through.
make or break moment. I feel it's the start of that. You got 4, 5, and 6 coming up, but you gotta get in the groove. And if you get in the groove, especially in these sorts of races, we go to Moonville
Great.
Highway, and this is a great running
Great runner.
track. Great running track for Immortal and Bup, and even Cynda can
And
probably get back into the front as well. Just solid overall, and I really like to see those players in the back try to make their way up as well.
Yeah, obviously one of the more powerful running tracks in the game just because of all the boost pads on the second half of the track. But before this hairpin turn, you're going to want to be careful with this bomb cart. If somebody hits it, which nobody did, which is a little bit surprising, that can mess with the top players. But you see Cynda ahead. Zay is going to chain into that double, is going to get some mushrooms, and unfortunately he's going to get redded. But again, with the second half of the track, you can get right back up to speed with all these boost pads.
And the boost pads are going to matter, especially with the coin counter, and we haven't really talked much about that, but coins really do matter in this particular game, because the more coins you have, the faster you go. So you have to realize that and go out of your way, and you see that players go out of their way for coins. Dynamo getting that red off right before the box. I like that play as well, getting 2 points in the process. Pulling a mushroom, probably going to opt to save them.
Yeah, so lap 2, there's usually a cart pretty tight here, so you got to make sure you get that turn tight, and you see Dynamo. Dynamo's played this game for a while. Excellent turn there. It's going to get a red followed by 3 shrooms, so he's going to use that red. I think definitely it can be a little tough to make up ground on this track, so you see Dynamo going to try to use these mushrooms here, kind of cut some of that track away. Angle in P2, that's probably Cynda in first, I'm guessing. Cynda, this is a huge lead for movement. So Cynda is gone. Oh, unfortunately, that driving error by Angle ends up hitting the bomb cards.
Yeah, I feel like that was avoidable. But again, you have triple mushrooms. The pack is still close. Cynda getting blued, a red in play, getting a box as well, going to opt to red. Both of them, at least Zay gets it, but unfortunately, their mushrooms get stolen at the worst possible moment.
A brutal boo for Angle there, getting their items stolen. But Angle's still in third, still looking pretty good. You see Cynda, Immortal, and Angle is going to be your top 3. Now, we got to see what our midfield is.
It's going to be interesting to know. We do see Dynamo in 5th, Blackmario as well in that, basically 5 through 8, separated by 4 points right now. It could change in a race, but this is what I'm talking about. The momentum matters. Your groove, you got to get in your groove, and I feel like those players right now are the main story. Who moves on and who goes home?
Okay, seeing Zay in 5th right now is a little shocking to me. But that can be the nature of this 6th race prelim. So Zay is a very good player. If Zay does not make top 6, I would be shocked. But that being said, that's what can happen here.
Pretty much, and I feel like at this point, these players have to be thinking, we need a big race. You need a top 3 position at most if you're through those 5 through 8 spots. You've got to figure out a way to just be consistent in these last 2, because if you're not, you're going home.
Yeah.
You don't want to go home this early.
Yeah, and if you're like 7th, 8th, 9th, and you're thinking to yourself, I need to make a big race, and you might take some chances that you might not otherwise take, and sometimes that can get you in trouble. So we are going to go to SNES Bowser's Castle.
And I like this specifically. It's a running track, more or less. You can really break away a lot of the time. And we see Cynda once again starting in first. That's going to matter going into these last couple of races. The point spread really matters as well in those mid spots. Who really takes over and possibly defeats Cynda once again, because that's really going to matter. But a red coming out, we see a lot of the players just opting to play a little bit safer, not going to use their items immediately per se. But I feel like Zay having that mushroom in the 4th, but we see Capybara in 6th. They're going to opt the shroom, almost falling off there, but luckily hangs on.
Yeah, that was a very scary moment there for Capybara. Does manage to stay on the track. You really do not want to fall off the track there, because then you're obviously also going to lose your items too with falling in the lava. So Capybara is going to try to rang out Blackmario. Does get the hit on the final throw, but yeah, you got to get away because Blackmario does have that horn.
You got to watch out for really anything at all. In particular, we see the mushroom Capybara actually going around. There is a shot in play by Dynamo, and we have to realize that. And that could change the outcome of a race. And Bronze Bus dodges in 5th. We see that in the bottom right. And has a star in 4th. And this is going to matter. We do see Cynda. They're going to opt to use it now. Actually, we don't hate that with that shortcut coming up. Yeah. And Cynda's so close. Bronze Bus could really make a move here.
If Bronze Bus holds this position, that can secure them into the next round. And that would be... Bronze Bus is our last seed in this lobby, so this would actually be huge for them.
Dynamo with the star here in this position for the Criminal Greens, having to use it right away. I like that play from Dynamo. Really have to use it, but the triple mushrooms as well. Bronze getting ready potentially, but having defense. We see Immortal with a plant behind the pack, but Cynda still in the lead, but mushroom from Dynamo and a horn as well. Once again, that was Capybara shock. And
a blue.
And nobody dodges. And Cynda is going to get blued. This is going to be huge.
This could be a W for
He's going to go up there. Immortal takes it. And Dynamo second. That's big for both of them.
I think Bronze Bus still finished high. I think we see the cuts down Faithful popping off. So Bronze Bus does get P3 there. Let's see where that moves. Well, they're still unfortunately in 10th. Zay in the transfer slot. Blackmario 3 points behind.
Again, this is last race coming up. Anything could happen, but 3 points is not a big gap. So I'm thinking it's going to come down to Zay and Blackmario. Yes. But again, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know this last race. It could be Baby Park. It could be Cheeseland. Yeah. It could be anything.
This is. I can guarantee you this is not a position Zay's used to being in. Zay is a very, very good player. And it is kind of surprising to see him very, very close, right on that transfer spot. And 3 points back from Blackmario, if Zay has a bad race, this could be a bit of an upset here.
It's uncharted territory for him. We go to Koopa Cape, and this is an interesting one for a reason. You got a comeback potential before the waterfall, before you go under. And I mean, it's going to be interesting how we focus on our 2 players in those bubble spots, Zay and Blackmario, of course, but we are going to see 6th place. Not getting a box there is Zay. Just staying in second.
Ooh, getting bumped
as well. Almost getting trailed there, too.
My goodness.
And just really, at this point, just trying to really get back up there as soon as they can.
Yeah, so we have a POV for Zay. We do not have one working for Blackmario, so we're going to probably be staying on Zay for most of this last race here. So Zay with a mushroom and a red in pocket. So probably going to... Again, this tunnel section can be risky. You can hit a lot of backs here, a lot of just bananas just randomly drop. So you got to be very focused on any items that could potentially be dropped here. Should be able to take this nice and sharp. Very good line there for Zay. Going to move up to P3. And if you're Zay, this is kind of where you want to be right now.
You have a mushroom in hand as well. You realize at this point you can hold on to that for as long as you need to because you have a red for defense, and if someone throws a red at any point, you can really take advantage. But meanwhile, we see Angle with 2 reds as well. They can opt to wait, and they're going to wait on it because they're going to get double defense with a blue incoming. Immortal's going to get hit, and Zay having that defense is going to help, but can they save themselves from another throw, but they're going to have to hold on to it. I don't like that. And I also don't like how Zay is not going for another box because of the fact that Angle has that red. I don't necessarily like that. And I also don't like how Angle's holding onto that red. Play aggressive.
Zay actually is kind of a dead duck here. So there could be, this is a long track. There could be another blue. There could be a shock in the play. So this is actually kind of risky for Zay. Could be, catastrophe potentially in the second half of this last lap.
It's going to matter here going into this very, very important section with the waterfall coming up. But meanwhile, Zay having a little bit of driving errors, but going to opt to red, and he does have another one. So he's going to... And he misses it.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievably misses it. It does not matter. And I mean, Zay right now has to play safe. He has to play safe.
Hey, see, super horn.
The super horn is coming in. Out of the line, and just again playing it safe.
He
and that's
honestly kind of got lucky there.
Zay will move on.
Yeah, Zay's gonna move on with that P3. So, chose to run it like a bit of a risky play. There was times where Zay really didn't have any defense, but it did work out for him in this case. So that should be good enough for Zay to move on. I do not see where Blackmario is. They are 5th. Close, but it's not going to be close enough. Zay's going to move on. Dynamo, Neko, Angle, Immortal, and Cynda is going to be your top 6.
Very well done from those top 6, and obviously the bottom 6 as well played well in their own right. And I feel like that point spread, Cynda dominating performance in that round 1, but Immortal playing well as well. Angle, Neko playing well too, and Dynamo and Zay, just as you said it, all the seeds match up extremely well. In that one.
Yeah, so ultimately, not too many surprises. Maybe a little bit of an elevated heart rate for Zay, but Zay ultimately does move on to the semifinals. So that is going to be Pool 1 completed. Pool 2, I believe. Let's see if we have the results in Star GG yet. We do. So for Pool 2, that was played on the other stream. That's our USMK YouTube stream. Moving on, there is Blaze, Technical, Rocky Boy 34, Batboo, MMF 10278, and Bubbles moved on via a tiebreaker. Gizmo 7th, Anomaly 8th, Castillo 9th, Squishy 10th, Night Sky 11th.
Just overall impressive stuff from this room and even the other room if you watched it on the other stream. Great Mario Kart 8 Deluxe action. And I feel like if you're coming up, you're coming up in the pools, you got to be thinking, how do I replicate?
Yeah, so we're going to get a little early preview into pool number 3. So that's going to be on this stream. It's going to be Casper, Joss MK, Bo, Shadow, Zeki Cat, you, again, Ginja, Luxatone, Bane, Galax, Knight, and Lego Ball 8. Pool 4, which is going to be over on the YouTube stream, is going to be Danny Fathom, Bonkers, Cynic, Heehaw, 6, DGL 12, Princess Brat, Clunky, myself, Melpool, Yoshiga, Sunset, and Sin. So that's the one room that has 12 people.
Very, very interesting stuff, but we are going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to be right back.
Yep. Don't go anywhere.